So as promised in the last video, if you haven't seen it, it's the video of the absolutely amazing mini The One of Nile's. And today we're here with Nile, and he's going to explain to us some of the things that have been going on with The One, the biggest house in the urban world. And Nile, welcome back. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like harsh or abrupt or anything, but there's been some rumors out there that the house has gone into foreclosure. The price is now 350 million instead of 500 million. What's going on? Tell us all about it.
So, you got to understand the whole story of it's not just a house and it's not just a sale. And this is what some of the problems that I got into. I bought this house, this land in 2012, and I started developing it. And during that time, I was a very different person. I was married, and like everything in my life has changed completely, 180% from losing all the money I had to pushing through and coming up with the craziest world-changing idea, like doing pay-per-view platform events at this house. And during the 12 years that I was building this house, I built a lot of other houses, and I never had any investors on this project. I always went from one bank to the next bank to the next bank, trying to get this thing made. And I also, from every single house that I built, all the money from that previous house went to The One. So this is not just about like 12 years in one house. This is about 12 years of my life, and every single dollar that I've made in that 12-year period went to The One. When I started this, I was a totally different person as I am now, and I didn't think about the world. I didn't really care, to be honest. I cared about myself. And but living through all this, I completely changed as a person. And then COVID hit. But the weird thing was, previous to COVID, all of my houses, like a year or 2 years before COVID, every one of my houses would sell. Every one of my houses would sell before we had the power on. Every one of my houses would sell. Everyone. Continually. Even though people would copy everything I did, everything would sell. And then all of a sudden, none of my houses would sell. Nothing. And that's what got me into this big problem, because, you know, when you're running $1 million a month mortgage payments and your houses aren't selling, you got a problem.
So what went wrong? What do you think caused this to happen?
Well, it's two things. One of them is it took forever to get the house built. And every day that you take to build a house is money.
So stop, let's back up. So I know you said it took about 10 years to complete the project.
Yeah.
Had you predicted that it would be much quicker than that, or was that already like preset?
I didn't know, honestly, because like one of the reasons that it took so long is I had to stop. I had to stop because I had to go from bank to another bank to another bank, and we stopped in between because we had a bank loan, we spent it, and we had to wait to refinance it with another bank. Or I would finish another house and I would sell that house, and then we'd have $10 million, we'd fund it into The One.
So let's talk about right now.
Yeah.
What's the situation with The One?
Well, I got to give a kind of a quick backstory. So the backstory is, one of the things that came to me through other people or through a higher power was a real serious way to help change the world. And when I gave them my mission statement in your interview, like, that was serious. I mean, that's something I really want to do. And by having a house that has those kind of grounds post-COVID, you have one of the only spaces in the world that can do pay-per-view platform events. And pay-per-view platform events at that house, like fights with Manny Pacquiao, fights with Floyd Mayweather, fights with big boxing names, can rain money down through the pay-per-view platform that we wanted to do, and combining it with the show and changing everybody's life by giving people 3-page contracts and putting the trust in them to account was all honest. So one of the reasons I got in this problem is because I fought forever. I didn't want to sell the house because I knew, and I still know today, that there is a higher purpose for that house.
Let me ask you a question. When you started out and you had this vision and you started to build the house, Was it your intention to sell it, or was it your intention to do other things with it at that time?
Oh, absolutely, 100% it was to sell it. That's all I didn't think about anything else other than selling the house.
Profit, you wanted profit.
That's it, that's
Okay.
it.
And at what point did that change?
After COVID, I met someone that gave me the idea, and one of the problems is that throughout this period, as we were finishing the house, I must have been through 7 or 8 different groups that were going to resolve everything for me. And when I say resolve everything, they were going to give me enough money to buy out the partners happily, where they would be extremely excited about the deal. They were going to pay off the banks, and we were going to pay off everybody, and then that house was going to be used for pay-per-view platform events, for creating a token, for cyber currency, to be used for a show. And it still is. That still is my goal.
But where are we today? I mean, that is what everybody really wants to know.
I'll tell you where we are today.
Where are we today?
This is going to go one of 2 ways. Either I was a fool and I spent 11 years of my life to build this, originally only thinking about myself, and then thinking about how this house can be the beacon of hope for the world to change. And it's going to go one of 2 ways. Right now, as we stand here today, the house has been put in with a receiver from Hankey Capital, because Hankey hasn't been paid his mortgage payments, and he's going to sell the house, and hopefully we sell the house for top dollar, and everybody makes their money and their profit. That is not my goal, and it still is not my goal, because my goal is to do these pay-per-view platform events. So I have someone who has become a very, very good friend of mine, and I trust this guy with my life. And the strange thing is, I've never met him before, other than on FaceTime calls. And he is a terrific person. But one of the issues is he's promised me over and over and over and over and over and over and over that he is wiring the money. And that's why I've gotten into this rut, because he promised me for 3 months now. When we went on your last show, I was promised, as you know, this monetization fund that I called the God Fund was going to come in, and it was going to monetize, and it was going to take care of everything, including these pay-per-view events, and going out and helping everybody that I possibly could that deserves it in the world. But it never happened, and it never happened, and it never happened, and it never happened, and it never happened.
But you still think it will?
I believe in my heart it will. And I received word from him yesterday that the money is being sent next week. So
would it be fair to say anybody watching this right now might say you're being foolish by believing this and not moving on to another remedy?
Well, I think because I have been down the path with so many different groups, I don't think at this stage in life there is another remedy other than if somebody watching your show comes in and says, hey, we're going to give you $200 million and help solve this, and we're going to come in as your partner. I don't know any other remedy. I can tell you, it was a big risk going on a YouTube channel, but it worked out unbelievably. And I have received DMs from rabbis. I have received DMs from pastors of churches that want to meet with me. I've received DMs from hundreds of people that need help, and hundreds of people wanting to know what's the update. So I will never, ever stop until the last day. If it sells, I hope I get my money back, because it was 11 years of my life and all of my other houses. But I hope that there is a positive resolve, that is going to include buying out the partners, paying the banks, and doing what I think was meant for this house in the first place, which is having it be the beacon of hope and having it really help the world. And that has been my mission statement since the last interview I had with you, and it is still my mission statement. And I have never given up, and I will never give up until the very, very end. But
which is totally admirable. My hat is off to you for that. But again, looking at the worst case scenario, and let's say the house does sell,
Yes.
What type of price do you think it will realistically bring?
I have no idea.
In today's market.
I have no idea. Listen, well, you say in today's market. Today's market's unbelievable. This is the best market we've had ever. I've never seen stuff selling like it is now, so I don't know. I don't know because there is a receiver involved in this.
Do you think it could be the 500 million?
I don't know. I think that if it's 200 million or if it's 500 million, I think it would be a horrible travesty because this house could change hundreds of thousands of people's lives. This house could make me very rich because, listen, I'm not one to say I'm going to sell everything and go out and give everything I have away. I've worked my butt off for this, and I deserve this. I'm an unbelievable human being, and I deserve to have this house and do what I want with it. I deserve it, and I'm never going to give up on that. But I've learned something along the way that has kept me focused, and that is maktub, which means it's already written. Everything's already written. You can do nothing about whatever is going to happen, and you just have to go with it and do your best. And that's what I have come up with, that mentality now, and that's what I live by, that it is already written by the hand, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And I have unbelievable, earth-shattering announcements to make. I really do. I really do. And I'm going to tell you just one to give you an idea on the show right now. And then we'll go on to future shows where I will talk about it after we know what happened with this. But
so just to interrupt you, so this specific idea that you're going to talk about now is going to happen regardless of whether the one sells or doesn't sell?
I hope. My entire being is the one. And I don't mean the one house. I mean the one brand, the one franchise. Everything I'm working on is the one. And no matter what happens, I have incredible, earth-shattering, life-changing news to give people.
So tell us this one thing.
Okay,
that you want to tell us.
Here's one. Okay, I wanted to make the announcement when I was able to say everything's solved and this is what we're going to be doing. I'm not able to do that, so as I said, maktub, everything's already written.
Is it best not to say anything now and
No,
hold
this
it
is
back?
This is just one small thing to tell you.
Okay.
We have, with some partners, we are starting our own bank. Our own bank that we can take in depositors, but it's a very special bank, and it is called the One International Bank. And when you deposit into our bank, you get the first ever. I want to polish it up because it's really cool. It was designed by me, and every depositor will get this: a 24 karat gold Visa with a real diamond.
Oh, that's amazing, may I? That is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I should probably show it to this camera. I'm not sure if that's...
Tilted forwards. There you go.
So that's kind of the level of stuff that I'm trying to do, along with all of the things that help the world. So this is one that, and I have something very, very special attached to this announcement, which we're not going to.
So let me just ask you some question about this.
Yeah.
The bank is going to be like a regular bank where you deposit money, or is this crypto, or what is it?
It's an investment bank, so it's for CD deposits mainly. It's more of a depository bank rather than an active bank where you have ATMs and things like that.
So this will be FDIC insured, and
Yes.
nobody has to worry about losing their money. It's a very secure investment.
It's a bank that we're negotiating purchasing right now that has a Fed wire number, which is super rare. We have the bank. It's a U.S. based bank, and but again, this idea is linked to the money coming in.
The card is gorgeous, I have to tell you.
Gorgeous,
I mean,
yeah.
puts my black card to shame.
Yeah, well, I hope, and the other interesting thing about this is all of the cards are going to be numbered. So this is 1 of 1 up here. So I hope that on the show I could give you one of the early numbered cards to show we've made it and this bank's open.
I'd like number 8.
Number 8?
It's my birthday.
Okay. I was going to say 27, but we're not going to talk about that yet. So
8 for me.
8 for you. You got it.
Well, that's brilliant. Well, I wish you the best of luck with that.
Yeah, thank you.
That sensational looking card, and
thank you.
I think the concept is great.
Thank you.
So Nile, thank you. Is there anything else at all you want to say?
I just want to say to everybody out there, I can't answer all the DMs. I can't answer everybody, but just I want everyone to know that I am trying. I'm not giving up. I'm doing everything that I can in my power to make sure that MockTube has written this to be a positive ending for me, and I am very sure that this new partner, the money will come in next week, and if it does, you will be the first to know. We will do another interview, and at that time we'll say and tell everybody that it's solved and how we're going to move forward into the future and what the earth-changing new ideas that are coming next.
Well, we all wish you the very, very best of luck. You've put in a massive amount of work and energy and creativity into everything that you've built. We're all wishing you well. We thank you for telling everyone. And guys, I hope you enjoyed our talk with Nile. Make sure you follow him. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button. We're in it to win it. Nile's going to win it. We're all going to win it. See ya.